So we've revealed the animated Transformers movie. Now let's get into the Michael Bay movies, and then we'll be doing Bumblebee after this. So welcome back to my Transformers series of reviews. I'm reviewing all the Transformers movies and lead up to uh, Beast Wars in June. Last week I talked about the Transformers the movie, the one from the 80s. Now we're talking about Michael Bay's first film, and I gotta say, I've never been a huge fan of these movies. And watching this movie this time, I was able to respect this movie a lot more than I've ever really respected any of these Transformers movies. I've never been a big Michael Bay guy. But I think actually seeing movies like Armageddon, seeing the Bad Boys movies, the ones he directed anyways, he didn't do the third one, but and seeing Ambulance and stuff, did give me more appreciation for the guy's work. And now I'm not just some hater of the guy's work. I do actually like watching his movies. But I do agree that these Transformers movies are just the worst of his qualities. And also some of the best. Like, let's start with the positives with this movie. This movie of Michael Bay's direction, the action scenes, the special effects, and the way everything's shot and put together, awesome. He's a very good technical director. He loves technology. He's very much like George Lucas like that. George Lucas was a very good at technologically innovating and trying new tricks with the camera. His last film, Ambulance, was a movie that they had shot these car chases with drones and did some cool stuff with that. And that's really cool, right? That's something that was never done before in a major movie. And so he's always been a technological innovator. And that's really cool. And that's something I appreciate about this movie in particular. The Transformers look great. I mean, they do look very much like they're trying to be too realistic and not completely embrace the source material. But this was just kind of how things were. I mean, look at the X-Men. The X-Men movies, they don't wear those costumes in the comic books, but, that's just how they looked in the movie because everything had to be realistic. And now we're kind of branching out of that, and that's why I think the ones in Beast Wars start to look a little bit better than, the ones in these movies, but it's fine. The actual Transformers themselves, when they're on screen, they're great for the most part. Shia LaBeouf, actually, I was surprised how much I actually enjoyed him on rewatch. I think he actually does give this likability main character to Sam, and that's fine. I really don't like Megan Fox in this movie. I think Megan Fox is clearly here just to be the love interest, right? But I just don't feel like I don't believe Shia LaBeouf and her chemistry together. They just don't have that, and also I just can't believe she'd ever go for a guy like Sam, And that's not because of his performance; it's about her performance, and she's never been a great actress. But yeah, it was fun. But for the most part, she was fine in the movie. But yeah, I was surprised how likable of a main character Sam was through this movie. But where I do get annoyed by this movie is it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, and I'm bored throughout most of it. And that might sound crazy for people, but I'm bored throughout most of this movie because we got this boring ass military subplot that's in every one of these Transformers movies. We got all these random characters. We got Shia LaBeouf's parents, who do not need to be majorly in this movie as much as they are, but they are. They're super irritating. A lot of that stuff. We have a lot of random subplots and random characters that don't need to be in this movie, and they drag down the movie. And what it is that this movie is almost 2 hours and a half. And probably less than 30 minutes of this movie, if that, actually featured the Transformers. And so, I liked when they were on screen. I liked them in the movie, but they were not in this movie that much. And it's so weird, especially this first movie, not having them in it that much. I do think this movie looks really good on 4K, though. I will say that. But yeah, I don't really enjoy this movie, even this first one, just because it's not a Transformers movie. It's a boring movie with random characters that occasionally feature some Transformers. All right, cool, I guess. I don't know why that this and the 2012 Ninja Turtles, or was it 2013, 2014, 15? I forget. The one that Michael Bay produced both have this problem where they just don't want the title characters to be the main part of their movie, which is just so weird. Like, there's just a lack of respect for source material and fans, and I'm glad that we're kind of branching out of that because we are starting to see, hey, us the fans want more of the things that we like, and studios are starting to notice that and actually respond to that. Maybe it doesn't always work out, but you know, I'm so glad we're past this era of filmmaking overall. Because I didn't hate this movie, I enjoyed it. I had some fun with it. Action scenes were fun, but at the end of the day, it's still. This is a movie that should have been like 2 hours. Cut out all this extra subplot and give at least the Transformers a good chunk of the movie to be in. Because they were just not in this movie enough, and that really dragged this movie down for me.